Hello everyone, and welcome to the first edition of Suited Guy on Cars. Today we're reviewing the 2010 Audi S4. And this particular model has been lightly massaged by Drive Auto Works in Clifton, along with APR. And it has been bumped up to the tune of 520 horsepower and 450 torque. And this is a manual transmission. One of the few that are out there. I was looking online the other day to see what was out. Not very many manuals are out there in the country. So this is one of the few that's out there. And with this tune, let me assure you, it is properly beast mode. Now, from the factory, it comes with 333 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque. That's good for about a 4.8 second 0 to 60 time, and run the quarter in about 12.9 at about 114. With this bump up in horsepower, this car is easily pulling below the 4-second mark, 500 horsepower, and as well as probably crossing the quarter mile in probably the 11.5 mark. APR has a video up of them running a stock, actually I shouldn't say stock, it would be a automatic transmission car with this level of tune on it, and it shows it at the drag strip running in the 11s, like the low 11s, 11.0 and change. So this car is properly fast, and we'll head over to the local highway and do a pull and look at what kind of numbers we can get on the on-ramp doing 0 to 60. But just off the bat, the throttle response is instant. There is virtually no lag whatsoever, maybe a tenth of a second if that. And we're talking immediate kind of throttle response like you get from nothing else that's out there. I've had this car for going on about 5 years now, and that acceleration is really addictive. This car pulls so strong off the line with virtually no wheel slip. It's hard to find anything else that's out there that has this level of performance with the level of stability that this exhibits. So I've really been racking my brain trying to find what the next great car could be that I could put into my daily kind of life, but it is really tough. Recently I drove a 2018 Porsche Panamera Turbo S, and still, with even though that thing's got a twin turbo V8 pushing about 560, 580 horsepower, it still doesn't touch this for the instant throttle response. Those turbos still need to spool up. That dual clutch is quick, but it's not on the level of being in the right gear and having that supercharger just punch you in the back right off the jump from the second you put that pedal down. So I think it's probably going to take something that's electric in the Tesla model range, or possibly a CTS-V, even though that doesn't quite have the all-wheel drive system that this does, as well as the torque vectoring diff. Virtually at any time that you put the pedal down, you get no wheel slip whatsoever. And having that level of confidence and stability in a car is so hard to find. Additionally, this car has a Eurocode sway bar set. That's the only thing that's done suspension, and I swear it makes this thing handle like it's on rails. Now, it's not on the level of a GT3, but for something that's four-wheel drive and 3,850 pounds, there's few things in this class that even come close to it. So we're pulling up to the highway now. See if we can get a clean pull going here and see what kind of numbers we can get on the V-Box. We've got a Race Logic V-Box, and that'll give 0 to 60, 0 to 100, and 0 to 100 to 0. We're not going to touch on those last two things, but we'll at least see what kind of a 0 to 60 time we can get on the V-Box. And additionally, the area that we're going to be running on, it's at a slight 1 or 2 degree incline, so it's probably going to be a little bit understating the performance of this car. And just so you can get an idea of what it's like out today, it's about 39 degrees where I am and cloudy, so you've got some pretty dense air, so it should pull a pretty strong time. We might not completely abuse the clutch, but we'll give it a good go and hopefully get a good number out of it. But with this dense air, we should get some pretty good performance out of the supercharged engine. Also, just talking in terms of reliability, this thing has really been bulletproof. Over the 5 years that I've owned it, it's never left me on the side of the road stranded. So I can't say enough for the Audi reliability, given you will have some things that, you know, you have a check engine light come on once in a while, but they've been few and far between. And I've really been very impressed with the reliability of this S4 platform. We'll stop here, so we'll let a few people go by before we try to get the launch on. But it's a pretty busy day around here where I am. I think we might get a few cars going past and get a good run in. So additional stuff other than the turning and the power. The steering on this is really perfect. It's really what you'd want for a daily driver. It's really nice, light, tactile. You can place the car really easily. That's really what I want. I've recently driven an Audi S8, and the power's great. It's just you don't have that instant throttle response, and the steering is a little bit heavier than I would prefer. But we're gonna give it a go. This guy's gonna have to wait behind us. We'll see if we can pull into the side here and get a good run. I think this will work. Our hazards on here. Pull out. Alright, he's passed. V-Box is coming up. We'll let a few more cars get past us. Okay, this will be the last one. V-Box. Alright, hazards off, ready. 3, 2, 1, revs. Go cook the clutch a little bit. But that was 0 to 60 and 4.4 uphill. Not too impressive, but definitely cooked the clutch a little bit. We'll see if we can get a little bit better one going back. But damn, that's uphill, and that launch and that pull is so strong. In the past, I've done that previous to having the tune on. We had the level 2 tune with just the upper pulley and the level 2 tune, and it was pulling a 4.9 or a 5.0. Now to take half a second off of that, if we had flat ground, we're definitely into the 4s or less for sure. What APR has done is really stellar. With that setup that they've got, the ultracharger, you're getting more air into the engine, and then you put that carbon fiber air box on as well too, and that's just making it more free-flowing. You're able to get really strong throttle application whenever you go near that gas pedal, and it's been super impressive. Additionally, something you may just want to be aware of too, around 90,000 miles for me, the catalytic converters had to be changed, so keep that in mind. If it happens before 80, there is before 80,000 miles, there is the warranty would come into play. You have your emissions warranty that would cover it if it happens before 80,000 miles. But after 80, just be aware that that's something that you're going to have to count into the ownership cost. Other things, the shifter on this is really smooth. It also, I haven't heard many people talk about this, but it has an anti-stall clutch feature. So if you just put it in gear and let off the clutch, it's really hard to stall this car, just as long as you're not letting it off super quick. This car is one of the easiest to teach anyone to drive on, because it's virtually impossible to stall. So I've taught my sister to drive on this. I've taught friends, and it's really a joy to drive. And also, when you're in traffic, that anti-stall clutch means you're really not abusing your clutch. The engine's always revving at about 500, and then you let off that clutch, it'll give a little blip to 1,000 just so you don't stall out the car easily. And that's really a nice thing to have, especially when you're commuting and in traffic, like I was saying. So let's see if we can get another pull in here. A little bit flatter ground. No cars coming. Looks good. So we can get the V-box to reset. 3. Just gonna roll on the clutch here and go. Shifted a little bit early, but that was a nice 4.7. So you want to abuse this clutch a little bit, and you're on a little bit flatter ground than I have. I'm confident that you can get into the 4s, or I mean under the 4s. And as you can see, this car really pulls strong, and without any hesitation or delay. So, great package, really tough to beat for the money. The whole package will run you around $6,000 just in parts, and maybe, let's see, so for the sway bars, I would say maybe that's maybe about 2 hours of labor. Then we've got the tune install, the upper and lower pulleys. I would say that's probably about another hour or 2 of labor. Then we've got what else? The airbox and the ultracharger kit. That's maybe about another 2 hours. So you're looking at maybe, if you're going to do everything, maybe about 6 to 7 hours of labor. And for a, let's see, about 150 plus horsepower upgrade, that's pretty phenomenal. It's tough to beat, to be honest with you. And for a supercharged car that's all-wheel drive, that's going to give you a ton of driving satisfaction and enjoyment. And if you find it in a manual, it's so involving and so enjoyable. There's really not much else out there, especially for this price point. Figure that you're able to get an Audi S4 for between 25 and 35,000 used for some of the older models in a manual, if that's what you like. This car, once you upgrade it, you are going to be at the level of stuff that's way out of its league, especially for that price point. And when you factor in, if you're in the Northeast with that all-wheel drive, I've got a set of Michelin AS3s on this thing, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It holds the road no matter what corner you're going around, and those tires, they stick, and they are super quiet going around every turn. There's no squealing, there's no chirping, there's no tweeting, nothing. So those Michelin AS3s, I can't recommend them highly enough. They're I think the #1 ultra high performance tire on Tire Rack, and when you put them on this car, they are absolute money. One thing I just realized, I don't even have the stability control off, so that would be something that would probably make this car go even a little bit faster. So we'll see if we can get one more run-in going onto the highway, and hopefully get a little bit better 0 to 60 time. I think that this car is definitely capable of touching 4 seconds. Swing around here. Let's see if we can get to the highway for one more quick pull. Another thing with that anti-stall feature, this car has been very good on not abusing the clutch. So that's a very big positive. Anyone who's got a manual transmission car that knows that clutch abuse is pretty major. I had a Subaru Forester in the past that was turbo, so it was a Forester XT, and once I changed out that clutch to a race clutch, man, did it ever need clutch repairs frequently, every 20 to 30,000 miles. These guys get past us. I may actually be underestimating the amount of uphill that is in this run. It is maybe about 4 or 5 degrees. Alright, so we got it set. Looks like we're clear. And go. A little bit on the launch, but there's 60. That was 4.1. Man. And I even bogged a little bit on the launch, but boy, can this thing pull. Even when you're rolling in 6th gear, you barely have to downshift in order to pass people. What a phenomenal platform. With these upgrades on here, I highly endorse this. To put a better package together is going to be really tough in an all-wheel drive car that seats 4 people. So I highly recommend that anyone who's in the market for an all-wheel drive car that can be your everything, everyday car, that you want to be reliable but also be fun. The Audi S4 with a sway bar upgrade, the Ultracharger kit, the Stage II tuned from APR with the upper and lower pulleys. Man, what a package. So check that out. I hope to come to you with more videos in the future. Suited Guy Automotive, signing off.